Hi guys, welcome back to Verified. So, this is a very important video for the DV2022 selectees. I want to pass a very important information to you. But first of all, let us understand this, that DV2022 was highly affected by COVID issues and ban issues. And this we saw because last year, the year 2021, KCC began processing the DS260s of the DV2022 selectees in the month of May. And they continued up until some point of the same year when the whole process came to a halt. And later on, KCC again started processing the DS260s. But this time around, they had a lot of cases to handle because of the halt. And now KCC had to look for some ways to at least make sure that they offer majority, if not all, of the visas available for the DV 2022. And that's why in December 2021, they cancelled the documentation process. That means the DV 2022 winners no longer had to submit their documents to KCC for processing, but only submit the DS260, and KCC will process the DS260 and schedule their interviews. And they have really worked so far according to the data that we receive. Up to now, from the data that we receive, they have at least managed to cover majority of the visas. And as I can show you with this data from Zadishia's website, we see that KCC has managed so far to issue, under this column issued, we see that we have 33,207 issued visas so far as I am speaking. And they have went further and made ready the visas for the remaining cases, which goes to around 25,172. These cases are ready for interview in the very many embassies around the world. And if you do the math, if you add the already issued visas, 33,207, to 25,172, the figure comes to around 58. And guys, remember that there is also change of status for those who are in the United States and they applied for the DV Lottery 2022 and they are in the United States. And of those, round about 1,000 visas have been transferred to the USCIS for the change of status. So if you add that around 1,800 to 1,000, it becomes 59,000, around that figure. But remember, around about a fifth of the total visas will be refused, or they will be thrown to AP status, administrative processing, or they may not show up to the interview. So the remaining 25,172 cases that are ready for the interview, some of them will end up not attending. Some of them will end up being refused their visas because of various cases. And some of them will be thrown into AP. And I discussed about AP in a video that I'll attach here. And I discussed how it can be risky for you being thrown into AP. Now, if you take away roughly a fifth of those figures that will either be refused or thrown into AP or not attend, you get to a figure roughly around 52,000 or 53,000 visas issued. And by that, we see that KCC has really manage to come closer to the total number of visas that they will issue. This means that majority of the DV2022 winners have received their second notification letters, while others have already gotten their visas. But it does not mean that some of you will not receive their second notification letter. There might be some small numbers that will be received by the DV2022 winners. But that's just an introduction. What did I want to pass to the DV2022 winners? The first thing I want to pass across to you is that it is not the time to gamble with your case. If at all you have received your second notification letter as the DV2022 winner, it is not that time. What do I mean? You should not create a ground for you to be thrown into administrative processing at all. Or you should not create a chance for you to get denied your visa. You should not at all miss to attend the interview. That is the information I want to pass to, because I would rather that you follow all the steps to make sure that at least you have high chances of receiving your visa rather than failing to do so. You are told that you are supposed to prepare the documentation. Ensure that if you have received your second notification letter as DV2022 winner, you very correctly organize your documents. And this is because I've received several questions on people trying to argue out about the documentation. It is not the time to argue about documentation. Number two, you are told that you require to show that you will not become a public charge when you move to the United States. And this is by providing the affidavit of support. And you now know that the affidavit of support that you're supposed to present can either be Form I-134 or your bank statement. Of the two, you are not supposed to gamble about. Just prepare either Form I-134 or the bank statement, financial statement. It's not the time to argue around that. Prepare everything and make yourself ready. It's the time to make use of every opportunity that you can find to ensure that you get your visa, to ensure that you're not put into administrative processing. It's better to be over ready than to be less prepared. That is the key information I wanted to pass across. I hope I've passed across the information well. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also like the video. And let's meet in the next video.